Hi, my name is Barry Benjamin. Welcome to Sustainable Life. Our endangered turtles, our responsibility. We're here at Loggerhead Marine Life Center today to find out. Melissa, who do we have here?
This is Rex. Rex is a juvenile green sea turtle that came to us 2 days ago. And Rex was injured by a boat propeller. As you can see, the back area of the shell, the top area of the shell we call the carapace. And he had an injury from the propeller that went all the way through the carapace and actually damaged some of the rear flipper as well. We got a little bit of an assessment yesterday on Rex. We got a little bit of blood for some initial levels, and we also took x-rays to see the extent of the injury. So today he's going to be receiving an antibiotic, and we're also going to get some more blood work for an out lab to get more parameters to see exactly how he's doing. So usually with the antibiotics, we can go ahead and just give them right in the muscle. Up in the shoulder area is usually the best place. Rex has been sick for a little while due to his injury, so he's a little bit underweight and doesn't have a lot of muscle tone here, so we'll have to find the best spot. And you can also see all the barnacles that we're covering Rex here, and he doesn't want to give this side. And that really indicates that this animal's been sick for quite some time, because a healthy green sea turtle would be swimming around a lot quicker than this and wouldn't be stationary long enough to build up this amount of barnacles. We actually removed some very large barnacles off the top part of his shell before we did x-rays so we could get a clear picture. But you can see the damage that's caused from him being sick for so long.
Is this one of the turtles that nests in this area?
This is. Green sea turtles will nest in this area, as well as loggerheads and leatherbacks. So the greens are one of the more densely populated nests that we see here.
What are some of the endangered turtles in this area?
Well, there are 6 different species of sea turtles that are considered endangered, and in our area we see loggerheads, green sea turtles. We'll also occasionally see Kemp's Ridley sea turtles and hawksbills. Hawksbills don't usually nest so much in this area, but there are a lot of them on our reef structures here because they eat sponges and they really enjoy the food source here, but they don't usually nest here. So usually those are the species that we're going to see the most of here. So usually the area that we're going to get blood from these turtles is along either side of the neck here, similar to our jugular. And we can take blood to assess a lot of different values, which will indicate the best way to treat the turtle. Usually when a turtle comes in with an injury, a propeller injury or some kind of injury where there could have been a lot of blood loss, we're going to see that their hematocrit level is very low, meaning they're anemic. That's something that we can treat with iron injections and other vitamin supplements. And one of the main things that we're looking for with the blood work is the white blood cell count, which will indicate that they're fighting off infection, which obviously with this turtle's injuries we're assuming we will see.
So you see the turtles in a very negative way a lot of times. What are some of the positive ways that we as human beings interact with turtles?
Well, it's interesting. We do see a lot of things that indicate the human interaction, as a negative thing for the sea turtles, as far as the boat hits, the fishing line entanglement, pollution ingestion, hook ingestion. But it's amazing. I have people who come to the center who've never seen a sea turtle before, and to have them come here and see one, it just inspires them to do more to save the marine ecosystem and make sure that these turtles will be around for their grandkids and their grandkids to see in the future.
A lot of people come to the nesting sites on the nights where the turtles come up on the beach and help out, don't they?
Yes, yeah. The turtles here, we are actually on one of the most dense populated nesting beaches in the world, and we have probably over 4,000 nests last season in our area that we monitor here. And we want to educate the public about, while it is neat to see these turtles. They have to be really careful to not interact or cause any distress to the animals when they are coming up on the beach to lay their eggs. It's okay and safe to watch from afar without lights on or anything that will distract the animal from their nesting.
Okay. Melissa, what are some of the most common injuries that you see here at the Marine Life Center?
I'd say about 75% of what we treat here are human-related problems, the majority being boat propeller injuries or hull injuries to the shell or soft tissue. We see fishing line entanglement. They get entangled around the flippers and unfortunately also the neck sometimes. We also see pollution ingestion. They ingest hooks, plastic bags, all kinds of things that can block up in their digestive tract and cause severe damage.
What would you suggest are some of the things that people can do to prevent those kinds of things from happening?
Well, one of the biggest things that we always try to educate our guests that come here to the facility is to just be really responsible when you're out on the beach or out on the ocean. Just be responsible about the footprint that you leave. Make sure that if you bring trash, you take it home with you. Don't pollute on the beaches, and if you're out fishing, just fish responsibly. Make sure not to cut your fishing lines or throw any monofilament into the water. That's something that, aside from turtles, it damages and causes horrible effects on all kinds of animals out there in the marine ecosystem.
To play devil's advocate for a second, what is wrong with calling a propeller injury just part of natural selection?
Well, it's interesting, the way that in this area, we're one of the most densely populated nesting beaches here in Juneau Beach. And when I moved to this area, I realized that the people embrace that. The turtles were here first, and we've moved in on their territory, and we need to do the right thing by them and make sure that we are, being really cautious. And as boaters and as fishermen, we want to be really responsible about what we do. There's every animal and every species has its place in the ecosystem, and we want to make sure that we don't consider ourselves just on the top of the food chain and everything at our disposal. And so as long as we're responsible about it and we make sure that we aren't negatively affecting the chain, then that's our goal, is to help educate people here about making sure that we aren't affecting other species negatively.
What are some of the things that the turtles provide in the ecosystem that are positive to the coral reefs or to the beaches or just in the general area?
Well, definitely we see, the food chain is affected when one species declines or increases too much. We see how it affects the whole ecosystem. And we know that turtles are out there, eating animals and keeping certain species in check. And also, again, what they can provide, to be honest, is a food source for other animals as well. They say 1 in 1,000 hatchlings will survive, and everyone says, well, wow, that number is really severe. Well, a lot of those hatchlings are a food source for other animals, and the reason that they lay so many eggs is so that they can be sustainable. The species has adapted to lay that many eggs, and those hatchlings do become food source for other animals as well.
Thank you very much for allowing us to see you actually work on a turtle today.
Oh, well, thank you so much for coming.
All right.